Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope everyone's doing well, given what's going on in the world. Sorry for the really up close. Trying a different camera angle so I can be a little more, have the camera right in front of me instead of to the side. Can't have it right in front of me because if I stand up straight, barefoot, and I look in the mirror, it cuts off from here up. If I put the camera in right in front of that, all I can see is the camera and not the mirror itself. So, trying to put it a little bit more, this might be a little too close and personal. We'll see how it goes. See how I like it. So tonight, we're going to be doing a shave using product that is was generously sent to me by a gentleman in New Jersey. Sense, Suds, and Steel. This is his own creation of loose screw. And this is, I think, it's going to be his newest one. This hasn't been released yet. There's a little sample here. I have the scent notes. I can't recall what they are. I'll put that in the description below. But it's a very cologne type scent, and it is just awesome. If you did not use Rick's first offering, I highly recommend keeping an eye out for this one. I may put a little bit too much water in it because I'm using a different brush. Using a new brush as well. Someone I haven't used. I've only used this thing twice. Maybe once, I don't know. But I just barely got this thing last week. So it's a badger and a synthetic knot from, let me get this right here, from Craving Shaving. This is one of his chop shop brushes. This knot is one that he was testing before he settled on his, what do you call it, the fan fiction. So I think this is a finest badger, super high dense. And because it's badger, and I haven't used this a lot, I think overhydrated the soap just a little bit. Not the soap's fault, definitely use your air here. That will make it work, because this soap, while thirsty, isn't super thirsty. As long as I can get a decent pass on the first one, it will calm down a little bit on the second pass. Get to the little consistency I like. And this is really good consistency. Can't talk tonight. Right here for like a straight or a Chevette shave. But anyway, so I'm using this because of everything that's going on. Well, one, it's a great soap. I thoroughly enjoy it. The scent is great. Performance is awesome. And because of what's going on in the world, if you have seen Rick's channel, you know that he works in the healthcare industry, in the lab. So he's on the front lines with the whole COVID-19. And so I thought I would kind of say thank you to him and to everyone else that is out there, all the healthcare workers, the police officers, firefighters, truckers, gas station attendants, and all those guys that are making it, so that delivery drivers, so that we can still keep going on a day-to-day basis. So thank you everyone for making it that we can do our best to hopefully get in front of the curve a little bit, maybe, and get this thing so we can get back to semi-normal. So you've already seen the brush, you've seen the soap. The eraser I'm going to use is one I have used on camera. This used to be my daily driver about a year ago, and that is the Merkur Futur. I'm using it on setting 1. I had a fantastic shave last night with my Dovo Chevette. So I don't need a super aggressive shave tonight. And really I've only taken this up to about 2, because this, as I said, this was my daily driver. And when you shave daily with the Futur, you don't need a lot of extra blade exposure. So, how's everyone doing? It's been an interesting couple weeks for everyone. So this week, if things were normal, I was supposed to be in California doing a go live as last week. And really, I was looking forward to it. I was supposed to be in the Bay Area. And I found out early on in the project on our end that one of my friends from a previous employer is their project manager for this project, or one of the project managers. And I've known her for many years, going I think about 13 years. I've known each other, maybe 12, 13 years, something like that. A really good friend of mine. She's met my entire family, and I was looking forward to seeing her. I haven't seen her for a couple of years. But because of everything with the virus, the Bay Area is on lockdown. Well, not lockdown, they're the shelter in place. So we were going to do all that stuff remotely. But that didn't happen. So this week, instead of remotely supporting their project, I'm now remotely supporting a go live in Florida. And for those of you that don't know, I live in Utah. People say the future is hard to get underneath the nose right up in here, and it can be a little tricky. I used to be able to get it down when I said that, like, this is my daily driver, but it's been a minute. So this week, my days have consisted of going to my home office. Luckily, I'm one of those that usually work from home if I'm not traveling. So I have an office space. So I go to my office in the morning, a little bit before 7 my time. My little one does not want to go to sleep tonight, apparently. And I log into, log into my laptop. I get onto a Zoom session, and then we have scheduled meeting times for the various pathologists that I'll be working with. And then I hang out in the Zoom session before and after those training sessions, in case, most of them are not working. They're on minimal staff. Staff has been allocated elsewhere, like most hospitals these days. But I hang out there in case the one user who is using the system on a regular basis, or actually the two users, the individual looking at the large specimens, or the actual specimens themselves, but I'll just look at the slides. But if any of them have questions, or either of them have questions, or issues regarding the software, or anything along those lines, they can pop in that session there, and we can connect, and I can see their screen and help troubleshoot, go over little refreshers, things like that. Because normally when I do a go live and I'm on site, I conduct the training. Soap does not taste good. Most soaps don't. I can conduct the training with the individual at their PC in their office, or for those of you unfamiliar with pathology, it's called the gross room. And it's not gross like, ooh, gross. It's gross as meaning like, I like the way I've looked at it. When I first started was gross, or as, large specimen, like the entire thing, like an entire gallbladder or placenta or whatever the specimen may be. And what helped me remember what that meant was gross is big in German. So they're looking at the big specimen itself, not not the slides like the pathologist does. So I'll go into a gross room, work with the users that are the PAs or pathology assistants or techs that do other types of specimens. They usually do like biopsies and stuff like that. PAs will do larger type specimens like gallbladders and placentas, and if there's a mastectomy or anything along those lines, the PAs will do those. So during a normal on-site go live, I'll go into the gross room, work with the PAs. During our training session, I'll go to the pathologist's office and do their session. And then there's follow-up session scheduled, so I'll walk around with users I've trained earlier in the week, and I'll go to their office and sit there for a little bit, make sure there's no questions or issues. And so, and then I have a little staging room where I have our test PC and my laptop set up and a couple other things, and I'll just go sit in there if there's no one of these my assistants. So my staging room is my office in here in Utah, in my house, and I'm in the Zoom session, which is they can dial into if they have any questions. So it's very interesting. I'm training doctors on speech recognition software, so they can dictate it into the software and it goes directly into the report rather than having to record their diagnosis and everything else and then have that someone else type it up for them. It goes directly into the report. Ooh, a little power glitch. Luckily, we can do that remotely. When I work from home, I generally do what we call remote trainings, where I train users how to use the software remotely. Same thing I'm doing with these guys during their go live. So that's providing a different kind of challenge. But the great thing is with my company is that we are doing what we can to make sure that our clients are still being able to do what they need to do to get reports out and everything done for the patients that needs to be done, so these patients can get their reports. And we're flexible enough that we can do that. We can do a lot of the stuff remotely as well, although you do lose a little bit of that on-site connection. And being on site, I enjoy being on site doing these kind of things. Doing it remotely it's difficult just by voice intonation to understand people are really understanding what you're saying, or if they're just kind of going, yep, I get it, and they actually have questions they just don't want to ask. So, but hopefully, when things kind of calm down a little bit, and lives are back to almost normal, we'll be able to send either myself or one of my colleagues down to this facility in Florida and be on site with them to go over a couple things. Because one of the hard parts is a lot of you have to use actual live cases, or even have training cases in a training environment, a test environment, to make sure that things are working properly. If you don't have those, you can go, okay, here's how you work through the software, and here's the commands that you issue. And because not only is it dictation software, it integrates into their reporting software, and there's various reporting softwares out there. So it integrates into those softwares, and you can issue various commands to perform functions, like hitting your keyboard shortcuts or a mouse click. So that's one of the awesome things with the software. This blade might be gone. It's cutting, it's not feeling, it's not dragging, but it's not nearly everywhere like it would if this were a fresh blade. But yeah, it's always better to be on site so you can actually see them do cases and but the good thing is we can train them remotely on the software, or you can shadow them doing cases from a home office. So that's always a bonus too. We're pretty flexible that way. And this soap is just making this future just glide. And you can see that, that's on my against the grain pass. Focus. Plenty of hair. And those who've seen the channel before, you know that this is a troubled spot and that feels smooth, really smooth. This soap is fantastic. Even with being a lot thinner than I normally have it, still providing plenty of cushion and glide. I don't think Rick has changed the formula from his first outing, which sold out before I could get it, regretfully. When this becomes available, I definitely get a full tub. It's weird using a DE. I haven't used a DE on my face for a minute. So used to using my single edge razors and lately Chevettes quite a bit. But I'm trying to keep this video slightly shorter, so with the DE. You can just see this soap is just fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I mean, for his first outing, well, first outing as a base, I don't know if we tested it with other people first or what he did, but oh, man, performance is wonderful. Just don't be like me and overhydrate it a little bit for your first pass, you'll be fine. A little bit of cleanup on the normal trouble spots. And the youngest one's having a hard time tonight, like usual. So how do you guys like this new angle? Is this something you want to see a little bit more in the future, or go back to how we had it originally? Man. So Rick, if you watch this, I know I've already told you this via our private messages and whatnot, but this soap is awesome. Simply fantastic. I like this brush quite a bit. I don't use a lot of Badger. In fact, I think all 3 Badger knots that I own currently. I don't know, I have one that's out on loan. I don't think I told him if he wants, you can have it. But, and yes, my hair grows from here all the way down. It just continues. It's horrible. Anyway, all of these badger brushes that I have are the mixed knots, like this one, and they're all fantastic. This one's a great knot. I'm just too bad Charles doesn't have much of these. I don't know if he's still carrying these or not. But anyway, we're getting close, just over that 20-minute mark, so I'm gonna do my cleanup and everything off camera. Just a quick recap of the products used was loose screw. I think this one's called Uncomfortably Numb. I love his names and I love his label design too. And the scent on this is just beautiful. Not too strong, but you definitely can smell it while it's on your face, and you get that nice cologne scent to it. But then once you rinse it off, it doesn't linger, so you can really pair it with any kind of aftershave or cologne that you want. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Rick, fantastic job. The razor tonight was my Merkur Futur on setting 1. This has a Personna Lab Red in the British blue packaging. That's not confusing for you. Beautiful razor. I actually got this because I am very happy I listened to the recommendations of Rich Hansen. He recommended this razor and I found it for a good deal and bought it, and I absolutely love it. The brush was my Craving Shaving. It's upside down. Chop Shop. I think I've called this one Blue Remix. He hadn't named it, but it has a 26 mil Badger synthetic hybrid knot. Wonderful, wonderful knot. Just a little bit of scrub. It was still nice and soft for the Badger. And I whipped everything up in my Captain's Choice copper bowl. Not a lot left in there. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you to all my new subscribers. And I will see you guys next week.